Hey guys, it's Alex here, and I'm back with our road to the world record save. Not world to the world record save, but we are now 240 seasons in. The last time we checked up on it, I think we were in the year 2240, so about 222, 224 seasons in. We are now a good round number, 240 seasons. We've been at Barry for 16 years now, and I just wanted to show you what's been going on in the save elsewhere, what's been happening in the Premier League, what's been happening in Serie A, what's been happening in the World Cup and the Euros. We've been looking at things as we stream. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. This save, our attempt to go for the longest world save in the world. So come join us, and we look at all this stuff a lot. So we've been going through it a lot. As you can see, obviously with the Welsh Prem to start with, the past winners in the past 16 years, there was a lot of Haverfordwest and then us, Barry, checking over. Been very dominant there. Well, let's go to a new league. Let's go to the major league. So first up, the highest ranked league in the world, Ligue 1, is the French league. We've been seeing a lot of the same teams. It's not too variant, but it's quite interesting. So in that time, we've had Monaco winners. Lyon and PSG are these are sort of the triple threat of big teams here. Monaco, PSG, Lyon, Monaco, PSG, Monaco, PSG, Lyon, Monaco, PSG, and then Monaco again. So as you can see, it's basically been swapped between the big sides for this past 16 years. Although PSG and Lyon have both got tycoon takeovers, so it could be quite interesting. And Angers right here, you can see Angers have also got a tycoon takeover. So theoretically, in the next 10 years, we could see them starting to challenge. Lille also have dropped off quite a lot. They used to be a lot higher. As you can see, they used to get thirds or seconds, but as you can see, it's for a long time it has been these three dominating, and recently it's been Monaco. But basically, it's pretty regular. You just see one of these three sides winning it, so it's not that interesting there. Let's go look at the first division in Germany. If we go look at it, since 2240. It's a lot of Bayern. It's a lot of red. Bayern, Frankfurt though as well. Frankfurt went on a bit of a dominance period with Köln. They won it, as you can see, quite a few times there. But then recently, Bayern have really turned it up a level. 6 wins in the last 7 seasons. Dortmund also have had a bit of a resurgence, coming second and third a few times. They haven't won it since, I think, the 2100s or even lower. Yeah, 21-22. So they were quite close a few times. We've had some very, very close finishes actually though, which is quite interesting. As you can see from the league tables, 1 point was the gap this year. 1 point gap the year before. 5 points, 2 points, a bit bigger there. 3 points. Goal difference 1 year. It's been incredibly close. That's the best thing. At 1 point, we had 4 teams that could win the title on the final day. As you can see here, this was the year. Frankfurt won by 1 point over Köln, Dortmund, and Bayern, who were all on 69 points. Bayern came fourth by 1 goal difference. So, meanwhile, the German First Division isn't as variant as other ones. They're very, very close league, which is pretty cool to see. Now, let's go look at the next league. The next league, I think, is La Liga we want to look at. This has been a very interesting one. Real Madrid have been dominant. Well, at the start, Valencia were. They had won it 4 times in the past 5 years. But then Real Madrid came in. They won 10 leagues in a row. They did the 10. They did the Desi. They did what Celtic could not, and won 10 years in a row. And then fell off completely, as Villarreal have now won the last 3 titles. Villarreal, as you can guess, got a tycoon takeover. They had never actually won La Liga ever in our save. And in 22-54, they won their first ever title over Getafe. Yeah, they've now won it the past 3 years, and Real Madrid have very much fallen off, down in 6th at this point. But Real Madrid were extremely dominant. I think they had the record for most goals scored in one of the seasons. They nearly went unbeaten 1 year. I'm trying to find it. This year, they had 1 loss all season. They finished on 99 points, 108 goals scored. They scored 114 at 1 point with 106 points. They lost 1 game in that. At 1 point, I think they had a record for most games unbeaten. If I look at the records, maybe most games without losing, 58 22-46 to 22-48. They literally went 58 games without losing. That beats Arsenal's record. Incredible from them. But they've fallen off now. And now it's the time for Villarreal, Valencia and Getafe maybe. Barcelona have been nowhere near, and Real Madrid have now fallen off. So it's quite interesting there. So let's now go look at quite an interesting league, actually. Let's go look at Serie A. Serie A has really developed, and as you can see, Genoa are the current winners, and Genoa have been dominating. We had quite a bit of variance at the start. You had Napoli winning, AC Milan, then Juventus 3 times, Inter 3 times, and then Arsenese winning. I think a Serie C club in real life, winning their first ever title. And that brought in the era of Genoa, who have had 2 tycoon owners back to back. They had a Puerto Rican tycoon and now a Qatari tycoon. And they have won it now 7 out of the last 8 years. And the one year they didn't, Parma won it. So it's been very interesting to see how Serie A has developed. As you can see there, you've got Napoli and Juventus up in the top 4 there. Inter Milan did just get relegated, though. Roma are down in Serie B at the moment, along with Sampdoria. Torino are down here. It's an interesting one, but it is really the era of Genoa. They have been incredible. They have signed a lot of players, basically. So they're very dominant there. And now the big one, the Premier League, everyone's favourite league. Ipswich are current title holders. It's been very interesting to see how things have been going. We've had a lot of different winners. Obviously, we were just hitting the end of this Arsenal dominance period here. Derby did win it in 22-41, then followed by Middlesbrough. 3 more for Arsenal. Bournemouth went back-to-back, then Middlesbrough. West Ham, Arsenal, Middlesbrough. Chelsea, Newcastle winning it twice, Bournemouth, and then Ipswich for the first time ever over Chesterfield on the final day. This part for the final day was something, by the way. Just to show you what happened, basically. Do I have to go through the whole fixture list to get to this? Basically, on the final day, Ipswich were behind Chesterfield. Chesterfield were playing, I think, who were they playing? Hampton and Richmond, who were 14th. And Ipswich were playing Sheffield United, I think. Was it Sheffield United? Or was it something else? We got a 22-55. Why are we so far back in this? I have to do so much clicking to see. Can we go fixtures results and just go to yeah, okay, here we go. So on the final day, Chesterfield lost to Hampton and Richmond, and Ipswich went 2-0 down. So it wouldn't matter, but then they came back to win 3-2 on the final day. And as you can see there also, Arsenal relegated for the first time ever on this save. They have gone 240 years without relegation. But on the final day, Chelsea, of all people, beat them as well on the final day to send them down, as Everton and Liverpool avoid the drop. Absolutely incredible. It's been very interesting seeing how things have been swapping up. There's so much variance. As you can see, like Middlesbrough won the league 5 years ago. They're not even in the Premier League anymore. They got relegated. But Arsenal getting relegated is absolutely huge. Let's go look at the Championship. As you can see, Stoke and Stevenage got promoted. Man United, Tottenham down here. Middlesbrough relegated from the Championship. Won the Premier League 5 years ago. Now down in League One. The Championships has been a bit mental. Leicester are down here as well. Arsenal will be down here next year. League One. Here's League One if you want to look. Brighton have just got promoted. Brentford are down here. Northampton and Doncaster, former Premier League winners, are down there. Marine, Wolves, also Premier League winners, getting relegated to League Two. League Two at the moment. You've got Burnley down here. Palace are down here still. Villa also down there. So there's not too many big clubs. The conference, I think you got Wigan down here. Portsmouth, Bristol Rovers, Leeds going into administration and then getting relegated. So Leeds will be in the Vanarama North next year. This is what the Vanarama North looks like currently. No really big sides down here, honestly, like any Premier League sides at least. And then the Vanarama South, I guess, yeah, it's all sort of mostly non-league sides. But you've got Leeds down there next year, which will be very interesting. But Championship's been very interesting. Some of the big clubs have dropped down. Obviously, Man United, they have been in League One for a little bit as well. So if I show you the Championship throughout the years, from 20-40, you've got like Tottenham down here. Liverpool were down in the Championship at this point. There's Man United. Man United haven't been in the Premier League, I don't think, in 25 years. Man City were down in the Championship as well. There's Man United just avoiding relegation by 3 points. Then they get relegated. There's Liverpool. Everton were down in the Championship. It's a lot of a lot of relegations of big sides. Leicester get relegated from the Championship. You have Liverpool going back up again. There's a lot of different sides. Man United got close once, but then they fall off again. It's very interesting looking at the league as things go along. Like, you can see who got relegated each year. There's Tottenham finishing bottom. A lot of the big clubs. There's Man City, Everton, Tottenham again. There's some yo-yo clubs of big sides now. Newcastle getting relegated. Hilariously, I want to show you actually something. On the year that Newcastle won their first ever Premier League in 100 years, Sunderland finished bottom. It was incredible because Sunderland, when they won their Premier League, Newcastle finished bottom of the league. Then, 70 years later, Newcastle won their first ever Premier League. Sunderland finished bottom. And now, Newcastle again, 100 years later on from that point, win their second ever Premier League. Sunderland finished bottom again. And then they win their third, but Sunderland aren't even in the Premier League at that point. So there's going to be some incredible banter between the two of them for that. So that's been very interesting. The Champions League, meanwhile, we've had quite a lot of dominance, basically. As we left Haverfordwest in 2240, Port Talbot actually won the first post Haverfordwest Champions League there, which is pretty good. Then Haverfordwest won it 4 years in a row. Then PSG twice. Back to Haverfordwest, Benfica, then we did with Barry 3 times, then PSG twice, Lyon, and then us most recently. The Europa League has been quite interesting. As you can see, you've got lots of different clubs winning it. Shakhtar, FC Twente and PSV, Lille, Valencia, Benfica, Porto, Port Talbot, Barcelona. Middlesbrough won it back-to-back, which is quite interesting. Afan Lido, CSK in Moscow, Port Talbot again, Shakhtar, Bayern, and Fenerbahce are the most recent Europa League winners. So let's go on to the Euros now. We actually have the French European champions coming up. So we actually stream that. So if you want to come check it out, it will be on very soon. But here we go. Here are the past winners. So we had the 2240 Euros where Holland beat the Czech Republic. This was something. Let's go to 2240. There we go. Go second round, then we go to a tree. There you go. You can see it. Holland beating Czech Republic 3-0 in the final. Czech Republic had an incredible run there. Wales actually beat Italy in the first knockout round. There's been some really interesting sort of lead throughs here, but in the end, Holland won it. The next year, 2244, Germany beat Spain 4-2. This was the first one I think we watched together. Slovenia had an incredible run, beating Croatia, Italy, but then lost 5-1 to Germany. Germany going on to win the 2244 Euros there. The 2248 Euros, Germany won it again against England in the final. We had some Ukraine doing well, so Russia as well. But as you can see, Germany versus England, it was a 90th minute winner as well. So England would not be happy with that. And then the most recent one, 2252, the Netherlands won over Romania. Romania had just a dream journey to the final. I couldn't believe it. Ireland, meanwhile, beat Italy in the first knockout round to get to the quarters. There was a lot of upsets going on here, but Romania beat Germany on penalties after a 1-1 draw. Then did the same to Croatia, the same to England, and then got to penalties versus the Netherlands in the final, but lost on pens. You could not write it. But Netherlands are the holders. Meanwhile, France are the recent hosts. But this is an incredible Euros, by the way, as you have the first ever participation by Estonia. Have qualified for their first ever Euros, and Georgia have qualified for the Euros as well. So very interesting Euros coming up here. Hopefully we get a smaller side to win it. Now let's look at the World Cup. The World Cup has been very interesting as well. The World Cup has had some very interesting winners. If we go to stages, let's go back to 2242. If we go to the second round and go to our tree, as you can see, England beat Spain on penalties in the final. I think Belgium hosted this World Cup in 2242 World Cup? I think so. Australia made it through the groups. So did Kuwait, which is pretty cool. Egypt as well. Egypt got all the way to the semi-finals. Oh no, Egypt hosted this one. They got all the way to the semi-finals and lost to England. And then Spain, who had literally not even conceded an entire goal. At this point, they had not conceded a goal at all in the entire tournament. Lost 2-1 to England on extra time. So unfortunate for them. 2246 was hosted by Russia. And as you can see, Russia won their first ever World Cup 3-3 on penalties versus Spain. So Spain losing 2 finals in a row. Wales got past Germany. This was incredible. Romania beat England, the holders, in the first knockout round. Wales beat Germany. Russia won't win there. There's a lot of upsets going on there. But as you can see, like Romania then beat Wales. Romania got to the semis and lost to Russia. Spain beat Colombia on pens. And then this was incredible. Spain dominated this match fully. And Russia scored in the 120th minute to equalise. Literally the last kick of the game was a centre-back scoring to make it 3-3 and win them their first ever one on penalties. So that was incredible. Then we've recently had the 2250 World Cup. This was hosted by, I don't know who it was hosted by actually, but it was won by Belgium. Let's have a look at who hosted it. 2250 was hosted by China. Of course it was, yes. This was an interesting one. You got Czech Republic beating Spain in the first round, Mexico beating Brazil, Japan beating Italy. You had some very... So it was a bit of a strong line, to be fair, but Mexico getting all the way to the final to lose to Belgium 4-0, so Belgium can win another World Cup. Mexico have gone to 5 World Cup finals now and not won one. Their curse is worse than the Netherlands' curse ever was. And then most recently, we had the 2254 World Cup, which was hosted by... I think this one was Belgium. No, this was Brazil. I think I get them mixed up. But as you can see, Ukraine are current World Cup holders. First ever time for Ukraine. An incredible World Cup. Bolivia actually got through the World Cup group stage, but lost to Brazil. Any upsets elsewhere? No, Nigeria actually got to the quarterfinals, beating Colombia. They lost to Spain, though. But Ukraine go on, beat England, beat Spain, and then beat the Netherlands on penalties to win their first ever World Cup. So as you can see here, you've had England twice, then Russia, Belgium, Ukraine. Incredible. Czech Republic came third, so Spain, Colombia. It's been very interesting. There's been a lot going on in this save and a lot of cool stuff going on. Like as you can see, like the leagues are developing. So the Premier League is also very interesting. Just how, like, look at the main team basically. At the main 20 sides, you've got Chesterfield up there. They've never won a Premier League. They were so close to winning their first, but Ipswich finally win their first ever Prem as well. It's been a good year this year, but it's been incredible to see how things are developing in this save. We've had just so much going on. We continue to go on, so I think that'll be it. To be honest, we'll probably update you more as things go on, or things I want to record, or interesting movements and stuff. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. We stream every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, this save, 8 p.m. GMT onwards, normally for 3 hours, sometimes more because we watch the Euros and the World Cup every time. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's been Alex, and I'll see you guys next time.